Yeah, I'll never forget because I went from being poor to having no money to being a millionaire in one day.
Konnichiwa, good afternoon, what's up? It's RUPA sensei here, your favorite English teacher, and today I have a legendary guest. If you've ever read the book 7つの習慣 in Japanese, it's thanks to today's legendary guests, and also Surika's, Adobe layers, everything like that. So James, how have you been?
Life is good, man.
Life is good. Thanks for having me.
It's good to be here.
Excited for today's video. そして James、日本語ペラペラですね。
まあ日本語問題ないですね。
問題ない。びっくりしました。僕は実は James のセミナー、オーストラリアで参加しまして、超モチベーションになった。僕はそのレベルになりたいです。
頑張ってください。
頑張ります。ジェームズ、軽くの自己紹介お願いします。
はい、皆さんこんにちは。ジェームズスキナーです。私はそうですね、アメリカで生まれ育って1983年8月14日午後4時半に日本に上陸をいたしました。
詳しい。
恐ろしいことで、ね、便名まで覚えてます。忘れることのできない便名なんですよ。JAL001 便。とっても覚えやすいんですけどね。で私は、長年にわたって、経営コンサルタントあるいは、皆さんの、啓発を促す、先生として活躍されてきたわけで、7つの習慣を日本に広めたことは有名です。
なぜ英語が将来大事になると思いますか？
英語がすっごく大事なんですよ。でその一番大事な理由はね、技術の発達が全部英語が先なんです。例えば AI のツールが日本語を覚えるよりは先に英語を覚えちゃうんです。
そうですね。
だからそういう我々の生産性を上げるツールとかそういうのはいち早くマスターしようと思ったら、まず英語でないといけないです。それからね、経済
エコノミクス。
日本は高齢化になってきてますでしょ。みんな年を取ってきてます。だからね、みんな引退していきます。若い人たちが足らないです。だから日本の経済だけで将来は大きくビジネスで成功するのはだんだん難しくなってきてます。もっと広い世界に目をみんなでね、向けていただきたいなと思ってますね。
結構深い理由になりました。でもそれがとても大事です。
でもこれからの世界はまだまだ英語中心の世界になりますね。
So James, before we get into some of those more deeper topics, let's do a little bit of your story, your biography. When was the first time you came to Japan?
So I came to Japan when I was 19 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, that seems so long ago. I'm 59.
Oh wow. 59.
This year I'll be 59.
Wow.
So it'll have been 40 years ago. So I fell in love with Japan when I was 14.
Yeah.
So I was walking down the street and it just hit me out of the blue.
Yeah.
Japan. Your future is in Japan.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then what were you doing here the first time at 19 years old?
So at 19 years old, I spent my first year and a half living in Tohoku.
Okay.
And working as a volunteer.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. And then after that, I went back to the States for 4 months.
Yeah.
And then I had an opportunity to come and work for the U.S. Embassy.
Wow, that would be a great opportunity.
Yeah, you're not going to say no to that.
No, you can't. It's your own country.
And it's crazy because when I was 14, I had this crazy dream.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go to Japan and I want to meet the emperor.
Oh!
And when I worked at the embassy, I actually had a chance to meet the Emperor Showa.
Wow.
Yeah, fall of 1985.
1985. Oh, so that was when you were about, what,
20.
20, okay.
Yeah, getting old.
Getting old. So after a couple of years in Japan, how long did you work at the embassy for?
So I was on the project to run the U.S. Pavilion at the Tsukuba International Expo.
Wow, Ibaraki.
In Ibaraki, yes.
Yeah, I was living in Ibaraki too the first time I came here.
Oh, wow.
I was in Mito, Ibaraki, yeah. Fantastic.
And so Hitachi country.
Hitachi, yes. And what did you do after that?
So after that, I went to Waseda University.
Okay.
Yeah.
Japanese university.
Everybody keeps asking me, like, what gakubu were you in?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't spend any time in the gakubu. I mostly hung around in the Ochiken.
Okay.
The Rakugo Kenkyukai.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
Rakugo.
Yeah. And I was the first foreigner in Japan to do Rakugo since the Meiji age.
Wow.
In the Meiji age, there was a foreign Rakugoka named Kairakute Black.
Kairakute Black.
Yeah, very famous. So when the technology to make records first came to Japan, the very first record ever made in Japan was Kairakute Black.
Wow.
There's actually a CD released of it somewhere.
Yeah?
I actually have a copy in my library.
Oh, you
it's quite amazing.
I'll have to try and find it on the net.
Now there are a number of kind of Gaikokujin Rakugoka.
Yeah.
But I was the second one in history.
Yeah. So in Rakugo, was that a good opportunity to practice Japanese?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. So I remember the first day I went to the Ochiken. And I didn't even know what Rakugo was.
Right, you just, sounds fun.
I didn't know, I'd never heard Rakugo before. I had a friend of mine, he said, you're very good in Japanese.
Yeah.
But if you ever have a chance to go to a Japanese university, you should join the Ochiken.
Okay.
It will make your Japanese even better.
Yeah.
And I thought, if it's going to make my Japanese even better, of course I will go. So I show up, and that day, Kosanji came and performed for us. And I could only understand about 20 or 30% of what he was saying.
Because the Japanese of Rakugo is a little bit different than normal conversation, right?
It's old, it's very fast.
Yeah.
And I thought, there can't be this much Japanese that I don't know. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable. And that's when my intonation and my pronunciation got fixed. It's actually a very powerful method for studying language.
Yeah.
You take a video or an audio of somebody who is a professional speaker, a comedian, a politician, something like that. And you listen to it and write it down.
Write it down. Okay.
This will fix your hearing.
Yeah.
And you just keep working on it until you can write it down. Listen to it over and over. And if there's some place you absolutely cannot understand, just that place, you ask a native.
Okay.
Once you have written down 1 minute, 3 minutes, or 5 minutes, you memorize it.
Okay.
And then you practice saying it exactly the same way that they do.
Right.
The same voice.
Yeah.
The same intonation. The same speed. That's amazing practice for pronunciation.
Yeah.
So maybe you take a speech from John F. Kennedy.
Yeah.
I believe that this nation must commit itself before this decade is out to the goal of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth.
There you go.
You get the same rhythm, the same voice, the same intonation. And if you can get to the point where you can do 10 to 15 minutes, you'll be on a whole different planet with your language.
Yeah, exactly.
Just one time.
Yeah.
You get to the point where one time you can take one person's speech and get to 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You're on another planet.
Yeah. There you go, guys. Try it out. Find some has great speeches or, like you said, movies.
And now it's super easy.
With YouTube, right?
YouTube.
It's like a time machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't have that. We just had cassette tapes.
Oh, rented cassette?
And then you had to do makimodoshi, saisei, makimodoshi, saisei. It was really hard.
Right, pen and paper. Yeah. That's actually one of the first times I heard about this method too, so that's a really good thing. At least you got to try it out. You've got nothing to lose. It's all free to do on YouTube.
And you can start with, 10 seconds.
Yeah.
20 seconds.
Good idea.
Any piece, one sentence.
Yeah. So that's the Rakugo method of learning languages. And when did you get started with the Nanatsu no Shukan job? What's the story behind that?
The way I got started with the 7 habits, I was 28 and my life was a mess.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing was going well. So I wasn't very healthy. I had just broken up with my girlfriend. I had no money.
Yeah.
Like, really no money.
Yeah.
Every month, they would turn off the electricity.
Oh. Yeah.
Every month, they would shut off my phone.
Wow.
There was a court order to turn off my water.
Oh, wow.
And when they turn off your water, you know
You're done. Yeah.
You're way underwater, right? And so my life was kind of a mess. And I walked into a bookstore. There used to be a small English language bookstore in the Imperial Hotel in Hibiya.
Okay.
It was about the size of this living room. It's not that big. And I walked in this one day and I saw this book. And it said The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Yeah.
By Dr. Stephen R. Covey.
That's right.
And I thought, Dr. Covey, Stephen Covey. I said, I think I've heard that name somewhere before. Isn't he like a time management guy or something like that? Time management. I need time management. My life's a mess. And so I bought the book. And I tell people, I've never read The 7 Habits.
Okay.
I did The 7 Habits.
Yeah.
So everything I read, it wasn't to read it or remember it or, no, it was I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. And I got to habit 2. Habit 2 is begin with the end in mind.
Yeah.
目的を持って始める. It said you should write a personal mission statement. What's your life about?
Yeah.
What do you want your life to mean? Why are you here? You know? When you die, at your funeral, what do you want people to say about you?
Yeah.
Oh. So I tried to write a mission statement. And I realized that the purpose of my life is to teach the world a better way to live. I'm a teacher. And I was doing something, I was running my own company at the time. Completely different.
Yeah.
So my purpose is here, my life is here.
Not aligned.
No, they're just passing each other in the night.
Yeah.
I thought this is no good. So I'd been building this company for 3 years. I called my business partner in. I said, you can have the business.
Okay.
I don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
And then I sat at my desk.
Yeah.
And I'm unemployed. I have no job, no money, nothing. So what am I going to do? I said, I need to do my mission.
Yeah.
I need to do what I was born to do. I was born to teach. Only one problem.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to teach. I have nothing to teach. So what should I do? I sat at my desk all day long. I'll never forget. What should I do? I need to teach, but I don't have anything to teach. What should I teach? At the end of the day, I looked up. Of course, there's nothing on my desk because I'm out of a job.
Right.
There's just one thing on my desk. The book that made me unemployed.
Wow.
The 7 Habits. I said, maybe I should teach this.
Yeah.
So I took the book, I flipped through, there was a phone number.
Really?
For the head office.
Okay, yeah.
I called the number. Hello, Covey Leadership Center, how may I help you? Are you guys in Japan? We're not in Japan yet. You are now.
Oh.
Whoa, wait. I will not wait. Well, calm down. I will not calm down. You write a book like this, you expect me to calm down? I said, no, I'm not going to calm down. They said, well, why don't you write a proposal? And 2 months later, I became the representative of the Covey Leadership Center in Japan.
Fantastic. That's a very inspirational story.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I really like that. Don't just read. Do.
No, most people, the reason they're not successful is they're trying to learn. And learning is not important.
Yeah.
Doing is important.
And then would you say you learn as you did?
That's what learning actually is.
Yeah.
School teaches you that learning is memorization.
Is this and writing that? Yeah. Relating that to YouTube. So many people want to be, I want to learn YouTube. I want to, become a YouTuber. I'm watching all these videos about how to become a YouTuber. Just start making videos.
Start making videos. Yeah.
Just film your first videos. My first 100 videos are probably terrible.
Sure.
Going back and looking at them, they're terrible on a terrible camera, no microphones, just me speaking. I didn't have this natural way of speaking either. Yeah, so that's it.
I'm sure my first seminars were not very good either.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to start somewhere. So just start.
Start.
And that can easily be tied to languages as well. So many people, eigo benkyou shitai, hanasu yo ni naritai. No, just start.
Start talking.
Just start talking. Start listening. Start doing all those.
No baby ever learned Japanese before they talked.
Right.
So I grew the business. We became the largest affiliate out of 70 countries.
Wow.
Or 72 countries actually at the time.
Yeah.
And then they bought the company in Japan from us.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that was a really good day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll never forget. Because I went from being poor to having no money to being a millionaire in one day.
Wow.
Yeah, one day I was poor and the next morning I was a millionaire.
There you go. Overnight success, they say.
I remember I went to the bank and because I needed to get some money to buy lunch.
Yeah.
Because even if you're a millionaire, you still need to eat lunch.
Yeah.
And so I lined up at the ATM. And the person in the bank comes running over to the ATM line.
Yeah.
Oh, Skina-san. You don't need to line up here.
Oh.
What do you mean? I need to get money out. No. You don't need to line up here. Come. They took me upstairs. They sat me down. They said, we'll bring you ocha, we'll bring you orange juice.
Oh, wow.
The branch manager will be here. And how much money do you need us to get for you? And then my brother had the same experience because he was also a shareholder in our company.
Yeah.
And he also got escorted in.
Wow.
And we're sitting there and they're doing all of these things for us. And my brother looks over at me and he says, you know, James, they only love us for our money.
Yeah.
I looked over at my brother. I said, I can live with that.
It's not a bad thing to live with.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's what banks are supposed to love.
Well, fair enough.
Your girlfriend should love you for more than your money.
Yeah.
Your banker, not so much.
Good. All right, well, that was a fantastic life story there, and we tied into so many points about language learning and success and upgrading your productivity and everything like that. I want to do a couple rapid fire questions to close it off. So, James, for language learning, if you forgot Japanese and you're back to the ground zero, what would be the first thing that you would do?
Choose a different language.
Choose a different language. Something more easy?
Yeah, I would start with Spanish next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what would be your language learning method?
So the biggest thing that I've learned is to have lots and lots of contextual input.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is to be listening to the language or seeing the language in a situation where you can understand it, even if you don't understand it.
Right. Even if you don't understand the language, you understand what's going on.
Right? So like reading books that you are very familiar with in your own language.
Yeah.
Whether it's watching TV dramas or movies but lots and lots of contextual input. That's what I would focus on the most.
Fantastic. So if you guys already seen the Harry Potters or something like Friends 100 times, go watch them again, and do you watch them in the language of subtitles?
In the language, and I would, I think you could do a mix.
Yeah.
I think you could do a mix. Sometimes you could have the subtitles and sometimes not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the subtitles are the subtitles of the language. So if they're learning English, English voice with English subtitles.
Well, then you could do both.
Okay, and Japanese subtitles.
You could do a mix, but I wouldn't stay always having the Japanese because you'll then just focus in on the Japanese.
Yeah.
And you won't be listening anymore.
Yeah, there's been studies on that. Once you get past the level of having your own native subtitles, once you start to watch it in English with English subtitles, your level of speed that you increase at just skyrockets.
Yeah, it's going to be faster.
Yeah, it's going to be way faster. Okay, so that was language. And next, if all of your money disappeared magically and all your businesses went to zero, what would be the first thing you would do? And also, you're a young guy again, so you're at your 20s.
I'm still young.
Yeah.
There's no again on that.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. But what would be the first couple steps that you take there?
So the first thing that I would do is find a way to be around people who have money.
Right.
That's it. Like if I needed to become a golf caddy at the country club.
Yeah.
Or a waiter at the city club. To be where the people who have money are.
Yeah.
Because if you're close to them, see, money flows back and forth. Money is always moving. People don't understand this. Money is not sitting still. It's not like it's sitting in the bank.
Yeah.
If you think it's sitting in the bank, it's actually being invested in a business.
Right.
It's being used to build a building or some apartments or somebody's house. It's always moving. And if you can get close to it, You can find a way to insert yourself into the flow.
Right.
To be in the flow. To say, let me help you with that. Oh, you're trying to... So, for example, right now I have a client who's trying to buy another company. I can say, well, let me help you with that.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you'll give me 1% of the deal.
Yeah.
If I do the deal for you.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't sound like very much. Sure. Well, 1% of a lot of money is a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly.
And also to learn from those people. Because if you hang around, spend all your time with people who have no money, you will never learn about money.
Yeah, birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah, so that's the very first thing I would do. And then I would always put myself in a place of service.
Okay.
It would always be, what can I do for you?
Yeah.
I had a friend, his name's Joseph. When Joseph was 21 years old, he was homeless. He was living in a cardboard box on his 21st birthday.
Oh.
He had a bike, he'd just been in a wreck. So he was injured, bleeding, his bike was broken, and he's living in a cardboard box. And it's his birthday, and it starts to rain.
Wow.
And cardboard boxes and rain,
That's
it's not a good
fun.
combination. Yeah. So he starts screaming, I am a man.
Yeah.
I am a man. I am a man. Like, this is not how my life was supposed to be. I'm a man. It's not supposed to be like this. And so it became morning. He picked up his bike and he started walking to see if maybe he could find someone to help him fix his bike. And he found a welding shop. And he thought, maybe they can help me. So he knocked on the door. He's just come out of a cardboard box. He's soaking wet.
Yeah.
He's got blood on him. And he's knocking on someone's door.
Yeah.
And they're like, slam the door.
Yeah.
So he knocks on the door again. And the guy says, get out of here right now, I'm calling the police. Slams the door again. He knocks on the door one more time. The guy opens the door and he says, I understand and I will leave. But before I leave, I have just one question to ask. Is there anything in the world at all that I can do for you? The guy said, come inside.
Wow.
He says, sit down. He says, before I help you, I have a book I need you to read.
Yeah.
He hands him Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Wow.
He says, sit there, read the whole thing, and then we'll talk.
Yeah.
1 week later, Joseph had a job, a car,
Yeah.
a girlfriend,
Wait.
and a house.
Wait. Doing good.
1 week.
In 1 week.
Because he changed one thing in his mind. He was no longer looking for someone to help him.
Yeah.
He was looking for some way that he could help someone else.
Fantastic.
If you change that one thing, everything changes. And so that's, if I had to start over again, that's where I would start. I would get around people who have money and say, is there anything I can do for you?
Yeah. That's huge.
Yeah, never be a victim.
Yeah. Yeah. The victim mindset, we can fall trap to that sometimes, I feel. But you're always in control of your own actions. And there's things that you can control, things you can't control. Don't worry about the things you can't control. Always.
Control you.
Yeah, control you.
Yeah, you're not trying to fix the outside.
Yeah.
You're trying to fix the inside.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the last question there is going to be about productivity. So what is one thing, maybe like just say a businessman or even a student or even an employee, what's one productivity change that they can make to their regular lives that's going to skyrocket their success?
So if you want to raise your productivity, the idea is you have to produce more results in less time.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? There's only two ways that you can do that. You can get better at what you do, or you can get other people to do it for you.
Oh, true.
My biggest thing would be stop competing. Competition is dead.
Yeah.
Don't look for competitive advantage. Look for cooperative advantage.
Oh, I like win-win scenarios.
Don't be the person who can beat everybody else. Be the person who everyone else wants to be working with.
Okay.
And unfortunately, they don't teach that at school.
No, I went to business school, university, I didn't hear anything about that.
If you cooperate on the test, they call it cheating.
Yeah.
In the real world, if you cooperate on the test, we call that a strategic partnership.
Very true, very true. So guys, find win-win situations with other people and build teams, build teams. Great. So James, 最後になんか日本語で応援メッセージとか何でも。
はい、皆さんの、成功を応援してます。私の人生の目的は世界により良い生き方を教えることである。もし私と一緒に継続的に勉強してもっと自分の結果を改善したいと思っているんだったら、この QR コード、この URL これをですね、読み込んでですね、ぜひ私のオンラインのコミュニティ1においでになってください。そうすると直接に頻繁に Zoom で話し合ったりですね、あるいは私今まで教えたセミナーの映像を見たり、他のコミュニティのメンバーと一緒になって、協力し合ったりですね、具体的にあなたの人生を次のレベルに持っていくということができます。本当にお会いできるのを楽しみにしてます。
Fantastic.
And keep watching RUPA sensei.
Thank you. Yes, and we're going to have all the links also in the description. 概要欄にすべてのリンクが残ってますので、チェックしましょう。Everything about James, his profile. We'll have your Instagram as well. Thanks so much, James.
Thank you, RUPA.
That was a fantastic interview. I'm sure everyone got great advice, great knowledge from that. So guys, smash that like button if you learned something new.
Smash it.
And subscribe to the channel for more interviews in the future. Stay happy, stay healthy, do your best with your English studies. じゃあありがとう。また今度。
Thank you.
Take care. Okay, thanks so much.